Next off, we have the split windows. So working with freezed panes is very useful, but sometimes you want to compare many more points in a table where you have, let's say, 3 or 4 windows. You would like to compare this data. So, and this is allowed. Let's unfreeze the panes. This is allowed by splitting them. So let's click the window and see what happens. See, when we zoom in, you can see a cross of a kind, and here, this plus symbol. You can move this sign. Let's move it to the middle. So it actually divides the window into 4 separate windows for the use of us. So when you see it over here, let's move to the left, and over here, you actually have 4 separate windows. So window 1 is over here, window 2 is over here, window 3 is over here, and window 4 is over here. You can move the windows, or how big each window is, by simply moving the window from the left or to the right. This allows you to edit or show any type of any amount of data in each of the windows. So what can you use it for? Let's see this. First of all, let's say you want to compare row 17. Oh, and by the way, notice one more thing, and I will talk about this maybe later. Okay, row 17 with row 57. So to do this, we can easily navigate the windows, so we can compare row 17 with row 57. Notice one more thing. Even though we have 4 separate windows, changing anything in any of those windows, let's go to the top. Now you can see the product window in every of them. If you change anything here, it will instantly be shown in all the other windows. So basically you're working on one file but in 4 separate windows, and this is very useful when you're working on vast amount of data and you cannot use the new window option. So splitting is really this useful. So how to hide it? You have 2 options. Either click this button and it will be gone, or grab the division of windows over here and move it to the top. And now you can see only 2 windows right now. Okay, and grab this one and move it to the left border, and it's gone. Great. You can also use the hide window or unhide window. This is useful when you're working on a few files at the same time, but remember what I mean by few files is when you have few different Excel files and you want to simply instantly hide it for a few seconds because you want to work on the other files for a moment. So that's about everything I can tell you for now about the view windows. You also have the switch window options, but this is used when you have many windows open with different files. So maybe I will show you. You have the new window. Go to the view one, and we have the window, this one and this one. So this is just used to switch from one window to another. Okay. Next off, let's go to the Review tab, because we spoke about the Home tab, we spoke about the Insert tab, we will be talking about the page layout, we will be also talking a bit about the formulas again, and we spoke a lot about the Data tabs. You know how to use text to columns and a few of these. I will be talking about the data tools a bit more. You know how to group, ungroup. So let's go through the Review tab right now. So basically you have the ABC, the spelling option. Well, this is really easy. You just type in any text and let's say this is text. It searches the entire workbook for errors. So if it finds anything, it will tell you that over here you have an error. In Microsoft Word, this is an option that is actually working all the time. So we will have those little red markings below it, but because this is a rather mathematical options client, so it works for basically for math. It doesn't search for any word errors because you could type in you could use words as math operations, so they wouldn't be really. If you type in, let's say, AB, it's not a word, but for you it could be a number of column. So Excel would, because you see after Z it begins from AA, so AB it could be a number of column. So it would mark it as an error, so it just doesn't do it. So if you want to check any spelling, you can go over to ABC, the spelling button, and then it checks everything you can. You also have the research button. Let's check what it does. Basically, it searches for any questions you might have. It will use the internet. You have some research options, maybe some languages. So it uses the Bing website, which is the typical website for Microsoft. So this works just like the Google research. So there's nothing much to say over here. The thesaurus option. In thesaurus, you're looking for a synonym of each word. So you're searching for, I don't know. You're searching for a word. So let's type in text and see what synonyms it can show us. So it has a manuscript, a textbook, a book. So after text, it's research if do we mean the manuscript type, do we mean the textbooks type or the book type. So basically thesaurus just searches for words that mean the same but in a different manner. Okay, next up you have the translate button. So let's say you're looking for a word in one language and you want it to be translated. So you're looking for, let's say, in English, text again. And you want a translation from English to French. And you start to go. So in French, it would be like this. I'm not good with French, so I want to try to read this. But basically, that's how it works. Okay, next off, you have the comment part of the review tab. So when you do a lot of work on Excel, sometimes you see people sending the files via email to review. So someone else reviews your work and he tells you, well, you have an error somewhere. Let's say you have an error over here and you should fix this. But we don't really want to interfere with your work because we're not sure if this is an error. So I think this is an error, but I'm not sure. So what do I do then? I might simply mark this as a yellow column and tell you, well, you know what, you have an error here. But still, this doesn't tell me anything. It just tells me it's an error. But if you know something that I don't, you might want to tell me what type of an error you found there. So this is how you use the comment section. By typing in a comment, by marking it, I'll say I can write in anything I want, and this would be absolutely anything. This would be just text. And this is the most common use of comments, text, or just there is an error here. Please fix. And it's gone at the moment, but when you're printing this file, this will not be visible. It's only visible when I mark on it. so you can see the little red square over there. While while reviewing it, you can use the show hide all of the comments, so you don't have to look for the little mark. This allows you to see instantly where the person who's reviewing the data sees any errors or the comments you might want to put in. So if you don't want to forget anything, or if you want to have better knowledge of what you did here or what function you used here, this is a good idea to use it. Also, we have the previous next. So if we put in another comment over here, another comment over here, BBB. So mark this one over here. Show all comments. Show hide comments. Yeah, let's hide all of the comments. Great. So all of the comments are hidden right now, and we don't really know where they are because someone just sent you them and told you, well, review the comments and you'll know what I mean by the errors. So you can go by the previous and next error. So it will just show you from one to another, and it will search from the beginning. So you can review the data that someone marked for you, or either you can just show them all. And basically this is how it works. To delete one, you just mark it, or either press delete on your keyboard, or mark it, again, mark it, not write in it, and use the delete button over here. And this is basically all that the command section does. Great. Now, next off, we have the changes part. As I said previously, you might want to send your work to someone beside you via email, just to allow them to review your work and make 100% sure that what you did is correct. This is what this section is for. This is the changes section of the review tab. So you can either protect the sheet by a password. So if you're in this sheet and you want to send this to someone or show it to someone, but you're sure that this data is very important and you do not want anyone to mess with it, or you simply input this file somewhere on the network or web and you want this work to be safe, you can protect the sheet by typing in any type of a password. So let's say password. Again, password. And by allowing users of this worksheet too. And this will protect the sheet from the things you use over here. So either edit, sort, delete rows and columns. Let's just mark them all. Okay, and press OK. We have to re-enter the password as usually, just to be sure that we didn't input a typo, which is really useful. And from now on, the sheet is protected. So if I try to sort, say, it will sort it, but if I would want to save the sorted file, it wouldn't be possible. So let's try to change something anywhere. You can see that the if I double click anywhere and try to input some data, the cell or chart trying to change is on a protected sheet, which means that we are actually protecting this sheet. But we can also use the protect workbook, which will protect the entire workbook, not just normally the this sheet. So basically, if we moved on to the sheet number 2 or sheet 1, because we gave this one a name, if we changed anything, we can change anything in here. See, I can write in, no problem. But I want to protect the entire workbook, so the entire file. So this doesn't really have any options, because this will basically protect the entire workbook from any possible changes anyone can do. So type in password. Again, okay, and again password, and okay. This will